Previously on Gears and Gasoline, Ben and I bought stance cars and drove them 6,000 miles from Virginia all the way to California and back. During the road trip, my car, the Acura TSX, proved time and time again why you shouldn't stance your car. Now that the road trip is over, I'm going to attempt to save this car and get it to a more drivable state. Before I fix this car to a more drivable condition, let me walk you through some of the damage that was done on the most recent road trip. So first and foremost, probably the most obvious thing is the front lip is broken. That happened on the road trip, and we left the half on just for the lulls and just to get it repaired quickly. But we'll probably remove that to clean up the front end a little bit. I also cracked one of the rear wheels on the road trip, so I just replaced it with a stock 2007 TSX wheel, and I lost the side skirt on the road trip as well.
Yeah, your side skirt's popped off.
The other side skirt stayed on, but barely.
The rear bumper is supposed to have some reflectors in here, and they were replaced with LED turn signals, but they fell out during the road trip. Underneath the car, we've got this exhaust that we patched up on the road trip, but then it broke at the header, so it's not connected in any way. Also, the underside of the subframe here, you might notice, is very smooth and flat. I'm not sure how much metal is left. Oil pan only got hit a little bit. Once it was dented in above the subframe, it's pretty good. So the front core support was pushed up a good like 2 inches, kind of like that. I guess because it's hanging out on the front here, anytime you hit like a speed bump or something like that, that's the first thing to hit. Can't really fix that without cutting and welding the whole front half of the car, which I'm not doing that. Looks like this tow hook got bent up too.
As you can see, there's a lot wrong with this car. So I'll first start by switching out these wheels for OEM TSX wheels, along with raising up the car and pulling out some of the camber.
Truth. All right, we have raised the front of the car up about 1.5 inches. Luke and I spent like 2 hours just hammering on the collars because they're so bound, and it still is too low. I think we need to go up another like 1/2 inch. It's not that there's not clearance, obviously there's clearance, but it still aesthetically looks too low for me. Might still scrape on stuff. I think an extra 1/2 inch and it should be just perfect. Well, now that finally looks acceptable. Now it's time to do the rear. Okay, so before we raise this up, we're gonna have to adjust the camber, which is a little bit different in the rear. We're gonna put our quick trick alignment on this to give us what camber it is. Obviously it's gonna be a little different in the air, but we'll dial it back, just get it, you know, pretty close to 0, maybe a little bit negative. Then we can do the ride height. The inner sidewall is what seems to have ridden on the road mostly. Maybe a little bit of the edge of the tread. Don't stance your cars. This is stupid. So we are at droop, so it's gonna be a little bit different camber. I know it's 9 on the ground, 7.4 off the ground, so that means my target will be +2 in order to get 0. So maybe we'll say +1. Between 0 and +1 will be the goal with it at droop. So I'll do that for both sides.
I think I'm gonna aim for 2.2 all around is a pretty good. I think it should look pretty good. So I just need to take some out of the left side and we'll be good on camber, we'll be good on the ride height, and then the last thing is tow. And then the car will finally be unstanced. All right, now that's off. Probably do the hood bra next. Get rid of the hood bra. Let's take that bra off. Gross. Is that it? No way, that's all it was held on by? All right, the next thing is gonna be these stupid hood risers on the back. Old Honda engine swaps would be up so high that you had to put stilts on the back of the hood to clear the engine. But this engine's stock, so why are there spacers in there? We got a stripped out bolt here. All 4 of them were stripped, but I managed to get 3 of them. The 4th one, not so much. So we're getting creative. Don't buy cheap bolts. There we go. Get grade 10.9 stainless steel bolts or some dress-up bolts that are made from titanium. Now, the previous owner had a single wiper in the middle of the windshield from its Le Mans heritage where they have 1 wiper in the middle. We're gonna remove that so we can have normal wipers, because when you look to the right, when you're driving on the road, you can't see through the wiper blade itself. So we're gonna remove this. I went to the junkyard and got 2 stock wiper arms, so that'll fold down there. And we'll have a little bit more scene clearance.
So one of my favorite things to do is actually remove stickers. So I'm gonna remove these stickers off Ben's car. I think there's 8 in total, and we'll start with the best one, the sad boy sticker.
On the road trip, I think I lost one of these. Maybe I lost it before the road trip. I'm not really sure. This trim is kind of rough shape, but we can't have one window thing missing, so I'm gonna pull them all off so that it's at least consistent. I actually normally kind of like these windshield visors. All right, picked up a new used exhaust. This thing is bone stock with everything. So this is the part that broke on this car right here at the weld. So this is pretty vital, but we can't just throw this in because we cut off the flange and everything. So we got the next piece here is the cat, which you can't get these at junkyards because they're all cut up. This cat looks good. And then, let's see, that goes into this piece, which actually looks to be in pretty good shape. So we'll throw that on. Hopefully my header is still good and we can leave that. Okay, so we'll start at the header and work our way back towards the back of the car. The first thing is going to be that gasket between the flex pipe and the header. So it uses a donut style gasket, not a flange gasket, which our donut is very old. It's supposed to go in like that. We're gonna put a bunch of this Permatex gasket maker all around all of this, which is not really ideal because it's messy, and if you have to change this out, you've got to clean all that RTV and stuff out.
Some of my gaskets are a bit worn, but I didn't want to spend too much money on this car since it doesn't deserve it. But I also don't want the exhaust to leak and kill me. So I'm using this Permatex gasket sealer everywhere to make sure that it doesn't leak. This isn't a method that I would normally recommend, but for this car, it just makes sense. I'm trying to keep my budget low on this car since I don't plan on keeping it. I'm just trying to do the bare minimum to make it a normal driving car. Removing the camber was a big step in the right direction, but I might actually be happier about putting this stock exhaust on. The exhaust leak was one of my biggest inconveniences that I had on the road trip, and it's also an extreme safety hazard, as the fumes could literally kill me. This new exhaust isn't anything special, but it should be sealed up, and that's where the low bar is set for me.
We're gonna start it up, and we're gonna see if it's leaking anywhere. It probably is, but let's hope not. Yeah! Dang, man, it sounds like a normal car. You can hear the intake. Still has a check engine light. The next thing on our list is some taillights. And I've got some OEM taillights we're gonna put on these things. I think that's actually what is currently in there. They just took them apart and made them clear. So we're gonna reverse that and put some nice red taillights on there, which I personally think will look a lot better. These are the side skirts that I took with me across the country. You'll notice there's only one of them. It's because I left the other one in Oklahoma. And this one has obviously seen better days. It is fiberglass, which is not my favorite material for bodywork. And also, there's nowhere to attach it from the inside of this side skirt, which means it was held on by 2 drywall screws. That would explain why it was kind of flapping and flailing everywhere and why I lost one of them. So we're gonna replace that with an OEM side skirt made out of ABS plastic, not fiberglass, and all of these connection points so it can firmly attach to the car. I just need to paint it. I do have to be a little bit careful not to do too good of a job because it might look better than the rest of the car.
As you can clearly see, I've had years of professional painting experience. You want to make your spray strokes as erratic as possible and lay it on thick. This will ensure that the paint has a good amount of runs in it and will take less time to paint.
Everybody go in the comments below and comment, Ben's a terrible painter, because this is just awful. But you know what? It's the proper color. We've got a few runs in it, definitely a lot of orange peel going on, but you know what? I tried. I'm not gonna put a bunch of money into this car because I'm gonna sell it. So I'm not gonna take these to a painter because then I'm, $500 into some side skirts. This, I'm only $47 into some side skirts, plus $100 to buy them. So not too bad all in all. And I think it matches the whole theme of the car a little bit. I should probably preface by now, if you haven't noticed, this car is kind of unsavable. I'm doing what I can to make it presentable, but that's pretty much as far as this car can go with these scrapes and bruises everywhere. And I've got to hammer this back together to even get the stock side skirt to fit, which is a great indicator of the condition of this car. At the start of this video, I was really trying to make this car proper. I was really trying my best, but now it's kind of just gone downhill and I just want the car to be together. And I can't even connect the side skirt up all the way because the frame rails, not the frame rails, but like the bottom of the unibody is like bent. Probably from being too low and hitting curbs. so the side skirt doesn't even fit up properly. And I'm just fed up with this car. This wasn't held in by anything. That's why the other one fell out. All right, complying with DOT standards, we now have factory reflectors in here. It's actually a little bit hard to see with this like fiberglass lip, but I think I'm gonna leave the lip on because it seems to be in decent shape. But now it's time to wash this car. Forgot to bring my wash mitt. This car deserves it.
Even though I tried my best to save this car, it will never be 100% savable. Stancing your car leaves permanent damage. I can't make the repairs to the frame rails, and the car needs a lot more bodywork. This paint isn't really salvageable either. Of course, with enough money you could save it, but we're talking about probably close to $10,000. And that just isn't worth it for a car like this. I did my best to make this car look as good as I could without breaking the bank, and this is the result. I'm happy with it. It drives properly, and looks proper too. At least from 20 feet.